All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on a song, well, an anthem really, that you all requested. It's a track that feels practically timeless, one you've almost definitely come across more times than you can count. Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, that's the one you were really curious about the story behind this iconic track. And what makes it so fascinating is how deeply personal and emotionally charged its creation was. It's not just a catchy tune, it's a real window into some intense human drama.
And to add to that drama, this all went down during the making of their legendary Rumors album. Now, what's really wild is that the band wasn't just dealing with one relationship imploding, but two. Think about trying to create music while all that's going on around you.
Seriously, talk about a pressure cooker. As they were putting together this iconic album, both Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, as well as John and Christine McVie, were having their relationships fall apart. And right at the heart of Lindsey and Stevie's split, you find Go Your Own Way, a song that gives you a raw, unfiltered, if maybe a bit one-sided view of their breakup.
So let's break this down. Go Your Own Way was written by Lindsey Buckingham. This wasn't just him messing around with some lyrics. It was his direct response to the ending of his relationship with Stevie Nicks. It's like he poured all his raw feelings straight into the song.
Exactly. The lyrics are so direct, and there's this one line that became a huge point of contention, almost like a crack in their personal and professional relationship. The line, "Packing up, shacking up is all you want to do." This wasn't some neutral observation. It was Buckingham's take on their breakup, his way of framing it.
And from what we understand, Stevie Nicks really pushed back against that line. It wasn't just some words on paper to her. It felt like he was twisting their history.
Absolutely. She flat out said in a 2009 interview that she never shacked up with anyone while she was with Lindsey. She wanted him to take that line out because it felt factually wrong and really hurtful, like he was publicly misrepresenting her. It's pretty intense that one line could carry that much weight.
But Buckingham wouldn't budge. He kept it in. What does that tell us about their dynamic at that point?
Well, it suggests there was a real power imbalance at play, maybe Lindsey trying to control the narrative. It definitely highlights the tension and unresolved stuff between them, even as they were trying to make music together. As Stevie said, it was certainly a message within a song, and not a very nice one at that. You can really hear how much it still bothered her years later.
It's kind of mind-blowing to think about all the intense emotions swirling around the band then. And it wasn't just Lindsey and Stevie. John and Christine McVie were going through their own divorce at the same time. Can you imagine trying to be creative in that environment?
It's honestly remarkable that they managed to create such a successful and lasting album amidst all that personal chaos. You had these incredibly talented people all dealing with heartbreak, and somehow they had to make music together. You have to give some serious credit to the producers, Richard Dashut and Ken Kyatt, for helping the band channel all that raw and often negative energy into something creative. Go Your Own Way and Stevie's answer to it, Dreams, are perfect examples of that.
You know, one thing that always struck me is how the music of Go Your Own Way, that super catchy chorus especially, feels so upbeat, almost celebratory. It's a song people love to sing along to, maybe focusing on the themes of independence and moving on.
That's a great point. It's almost like this duality, right? The bitter lyrics in the verses versus the driving anthemic chorus. It reflects how we often try to put on a brave face even when we're hurting inside, or how we look for a way forward even in the middle of emotional turmoil. Go Your Own Way really embodies that complex human experience in its sound. And over time, even Fleetwood Mac themselves seem to embrace that more positive interpretation, especially in their later stadium shows. It turned into this massive sing-along, almost transcending its more angsty origins, and even continued on after Lindsey Buckingham left the band.
And that naturally brings us to Stevie's response, her song Dreams, which was right there on the same album. It's like they were having a direct musical conversation with each other.
Exactly. In a 2013 interview, Stevie actually called Dreams and Go Your Own Way the twin songs, highlighting how they offered two totally different perspectives on the same breakup. Where Lindsey's approach in Go Your Own Way was more in-your-face and accusatory, Stevie's in Dreams, as our sources point out, was more subtle, but just as powerful in its emotional impact.
Subtle but powerful is a great way to put it. How did she achieve that?
Well, instead of going for direct accusations, Stevie's lyrics in Dreams focused on the emotional fallout, the loneliness Lindsey might feel down the line. Lines like, "Listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad." In the stillness of remembering what you had, really paint a picture of him regretting their split and feeling isolated. It's a different kind of sting compared to the shacking up accusation, maybe more psychological and introspective. It speaks volumes about their different approaches to writing and dealing with the breakup.
It's like we're getting both sides of a really painful story, each told with incredible musical talent. Okay, let's talk about that insanely catchy rhythm in Go Your Own Way. It's one of the most recognizable drum beats in rock history.
And the story behind it was pretty wild. Drummer Nick Wheatwood actually revealed that Lindsay first showed him the rhythm by, get this, hitting Kleenex boxes. Can you imagine? Fleetwood admitted that he initially had trouble understanding what Buckingham wanted, and the final version you hear on the record was, in his words, a mutated interpretation that came from his own struggles to translate that Kleenex box rhythm to the drums. He even joked about it being a back-to-front approach born from his ineptness, which is pretty humble for such an iconic part of the song. It makes you wonder, what does it say that such a signature sound came from a bit of a misunderstanding? Maybe creative limitations or unexpected interpretations can sometimes lead to something truly unique.
That's amazing. A rhythm born from Kleenex boxes and a drummer's ineptness. And what about Lindsay's guitar work on the track? Fleetwood Mac isn't exactly known for their huge, sprawling guitar solos.
You're right, but Lindsey Buckingham's solo in Go Your Own Way definitely stands out, and it's considered one of his most memorable. It's so energetic and melodic, fitting perfectly with the energy of the song. What's interesting is that the live versions, particularly the one from the Dance album, had a much longer and more intricate solo, really showing off his skills. It became a highlight of their live performances.
So this very personal and raw drama not only inspired these amazing songs, but also created something that resonated way beyond the band's internal conflicts. The phrase "go your own way" itself seems to have taken on a life of its own.
For sure. That phrase and the themes of independence and moving on really connected with a lot of people. National Car Rental even famously used the song in their ads, playing on that idea of freedom and forging your own path. It's interesting how a song rooted in heartbreak could be used to sell cars, showing its broader appeal.
And the song's impact keeps going, even with other artists putting their own spin on it.
Absolutely. Singer-songwriter Lissy covered Go Your Own Way in 2012, and it actually became pretty popular in the UK after being used in a Twinings tea commercial. It shows how timeless the song is and how it can be reinterpreted and find new fans in different contexts.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it? A song born from such intense conflict ending up selling tea. But there's one more detail that really highlights the ongoing tension within the band, even as they perform this huge hit.
Oh yeah, this is classic passive-aggressive band behavior on stage. Apparently, during live shows in the 1970s, Stevie Nicks and Christine McVie would sometimes mess with their harmonies and timing, just subtly trying to throw Lindsey Buckingham off. It's a small thing, but it says a lot about the underlying friction, even with their outward success.
I can totally picture that. Like the personal drama was always simmering beneath the surface, even as they played this incredibly popular song night after night.
It really highlights how complex the relationships were within Fleetwood Mac during that incredibly creative and tumultuous period. Their music was brilliant, but their personal dynamics were clearly intense.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Go Your Own Way, it's clear that this song is way more than just a catchy rock anthem. It's a sonic snapshot of a very personal and at times messy breakup forever linked to Stevie Nicks' dreams, which offers another perspective on the same story. It shows how raw, unfiltered emotion can fuel some truly powerful and enduring art.
Definitely. And listening to it now, knowing the backstory, you might hear those layers of personal experience even more clearly. It makes you appreciate the vulnerability and creativity that can come from even the most difficult situations.
It makes you think about how personal experiences, especially the painful and complicated ones, can be such powerful inspiration for art, often in ways we don't initially realize. Think about the impact these songs born from personal struggles have had on millions of listeners who may have connected their own experiences to them.
That brings up an interesting question. Knowing the emotional battlefield that fueled Go Your Own Way and Dreams, how does that change how you understand and appreciate these songs? Maybe next time you hear them, you'll listen with a deeper awareness of the personal stories woven into those iconic melodies.
And on that note, we'll wrap things up. As always, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time.